with the Prophet and Enchantress, with the creeps
Navi's
coming
turn
to your
to
lane and
ban.
overpowering your supports, and they're going to try to take your tower pre 5 minutes. If that happens for them, it's going to allow Navi to like snowball and get the ball rolling very quickly, because Liquid wants to play a slower paced game right now.
We get rid of the Huskar, so gentlemen, we don't have to worry about that.
No,
So
Liquid
10
doesn't have to worry
seconds
about that. We
remaining.
don't have to worry about that, Dakota.
we have yet to see the Huskar debut on the main
5
stage, though.
seconds remaining.
You're disgusting, you know.
I'm not. I don't play the hero.
Navi's
You
turn
play a
to pick.
spirit.
Oh, I actually think this was a really good ban by Navi. I think Liquid really wanted that Timbersaw. This is such a perfect game again. It goes back to the same thing. No silence, no stun. They picked
Liquid's
Void, so
turn
that's
to
the
pick.
only disable.
They needed burst damage with the axe, and they needed D-push if they wanted to run Naga as a core.
Yeah.
So that would have been perfect for them.
SD and Timbersaw also would have been insane. What do you think they go back for now, Merlini? What do you believe?
I don't really think of that many mid laners that can salvage this. It's almost always them to come up, man.
Oh, Death Prophet, though. All right, gentlemen, real fast. What do you think?
Liquid lineup is too slow, and
Yeah,
Navi are gonna take.
I'm agreeing with Mr. Banwood here.
Navi's too fast.
Yeah,
Wagga?
fast.
Yeah, Navi has a really fast-paced lineup, but I still favor Liquid.
We got two of the most popular teams in Dota right
Okay,
now.
Sheever.
And one of them, yeah, nice. One of them is going to have to go. We're going to see which team that's going to be. Let's throw it over to our casters for the last game of game number 1 for TI6. It's Capitalist and Blitz. Take it away, gentlemen.
Earlier today, we had to say goodbye to a legend here at TI6. Puppy got knocked out of the tournament, and now we're going to potentially say, well, we have to say goodbye to one of his former teammates. Will be Dendi, representing the heart of Navi, or Kuro, leading Team
10
Liquid
seconds
through
remaining.
a pretty successful year so far, but now in a turn of events left in a
5
best-of-one
seconds remaining.
elimination against his former teammate Blitz. This is probably the most intense of the best of ones today, and it's the very last one. You see the draft. You were talking about a little bit of tempo
Prepare for
for
battle.
Radiant side. Liquid choosing the last pick up the Death Prophet. Navi, meanwhile, pretty fast-paced with that mid Queen of Pain.
Yeah, they don't have the best ways, I think, to deal with this Naga Siren when it comes to the ultra late game, just because if you're Navi, you want to constantly apply pressure, you don't want to deal with those Naga illusions. So for Navi, I think the game plan is very clear. Put as much pressure as you possibly can, whereas Liquid, it's buy time for this Naga Siren, allow her to develop her own game. Man, I still can't believe that this is going to be the last game for one of these two teams.
So in that case, it feels rather fitting that we are going to go back and put this game. A large amount of the tempo is going to be determined by art styles, classic jungling with the Enchantress, and mid Dendi Queen of Pain, right? You said you've got to put
30
up the pressure
seconds to
fast, and
battle.
those are going to be the two heroes that cement a lead early on in the laning phase at least.
Yeah, exactly, and I think for Navi, just harass this mid lane as much as he possibly can, slow down Fodder's farm, and they're even going to spot General in this Roche pit, force him to time walk out, waste some of his mana, but it's going to affect too much.
Now, what about the safe lane Furion? Obviously, that's going to be yet another example of Navi really trying to push the pace of this game, running a safe
The
lane hero
battle
that can actually
begins.
teleport anywhere in the map and instantly be able to provide a numbers advantage. But what is the difference here, in your mind, of running that Furion top and having General play the Faceless Void as an offlaner here rather than vice versa?
Because now for Navi, you can scale your cores very greedily into the mid game and early game, and I think they've read the fact that Mind Control is going to go for this Iron Talon Axe jungle, and so in this way they can potentially just straight up win 3 lanes. You see Seneko camping this mid lane for Dendi, and yeah, this is going to be pretty hard for Liquid to contest just because Mind Control does not have the build to go to the top lane.
Ada going to be left in a 1 versus 2 scenario. Kuro can't really help him out too much against this rather aggressive mid situation. As you said, the top lane being completely abandoned by Team Liquid, so Ditchy Ra is going to have total free farm here and may be able to have an impact on that mid lane when he's able to pick up his level 2. At any moment's notice, there's a moment of weakness there on Fauna. He'll TP in and provide a helping hand to Navi, and then our bottom lane General is probably going to be doing all right. He's facing up against a Naga Siren and a Shadow Demon. I can't imagine that is a dual lane that will put too much pressure on him.
Yeah, Jarek has gone for the poison level 1, trying to harass and trade hits, but General not going to be too worried about this, and this has kind of been Liquid's miss throughout this tournament, just weak laning phases which eventually lead to a snowballing mid game for the enemy team. We're already starting to see that here. This Jarek's going to get beaten down, and General has a lot of stacks of poison on him, but on the left side here comes Art Style trying to get that first blood.
is going to be able to try and go straight for Jerix. He's got the ensnare ready to go. He will be able to lock down Jerix. Let's see if they can actually finish him off. The disruption comes out from Jerix. Archdale dropping lower and lower. Tries to go for the neutral, denying, not good enough. And neutrals instead will deny Archdale.
That was the best possible scenario for Na'Vi, as Archdale, low anyways, very fortunately just manages to die there.
Yeah, beautiful. Pick up the first blood. Archdale already having a huge impact on that jungling Enchantress, and is going to keep up the pressure here in this bottom lane, TPing down, and wants to be able to pick up perhaps a Wild Wing Ripper that he spotted out earlier.
This mid lane Fada just continues to take a beating.
Andy still has the blink ready to go, but is only level 2, no levels of Scream of Pain just yet.
He's got to be careful just because there is a Fairy Fire available on Fada, who desperately wants to not have to send more regen to himself, play for that bottle, but that might just cost him his life, as he is starting to get really low here. And Na'Vi, they are liable to just go for this dive, especially with this TP available from this Nature's Prophet.
Nai coming out, really keeping that bottle outside of Fada's reach. In fact, he's going to come over and steal some of Mind Control's farm just so he can get that assured bottle without putting himself in too much danger. But still, it seems like as you kind of set it up, pre-laning phase, Na'Vi are actually going to be winning every single one of their lanes. Kuro
Massively too.
Yeah, he kind of seems left without a much of a job here on this bounty hunter.
Yeah, if you're
Can't really
Kuro,
put much pressure anymore.
you want to go bottom, you want to follow around this Enchantress, or you want to harass mid and try to make the lanes okay, but it's still a free lane at top, and it looks so attractive as Na'Vi getting aggressive on Matama Man, and they are slowing down his farm so much right now in this game.
So the early level 6 on the bounty hunter may be able to offset things in time to come, but that's only if Liquid can actually win some fights, and with the way the rest of the lanes are going, seems doubtful they will have much strength to go on.
So far, this is all Na'Vi. So, although we haven't seen the first team fight or anything like that, Navi's got pretty greedy cores. They've got the supports that back themselves up. And Archdale, he's going to continue to try to make moves around the map as Soneko grabs his bounty rune.
Now, one of the big silver linings here between the bounty hunter picking up a relatively early level 6, it seems, with him taking up a free lane at top, and then also we have this Mind Control free farming away on the X. This is probably one of the faster junglers that you'll see. He's already level 5 by 4 minutes in. He could have a very large impact, but that's only going to usually come with the Blink Dagger, and that may be too late to stop Navi's snowball.
Going to make his rotation up at top, and DRA might not know about this, as they're trying to find the angle right now to collapse on him instantly. He does have the level of Sprout and the TP available.
It's going to be slowed down, needs to be able to find the space to be able to get a Sprout TP away, but Mind Control closing the gap. Nice little play with the Treant, doing so much. Kuro's now going to try and do the same, but Mind Control still can't get there. And now a beautiful setup by Soneko manages to get the Fortune's End onto Ditchia, purging him off, as well as hitting both Kuro and Mind Control.
That was so well done by Ditchia, just sending his hero back, microing that Treant. Definitely kept him alive, as they definitely had enough damage to kill him. That level 1 Shuriken toss doing quite a lot of damage, even level 2 right now. Gonna make his way back up top. DRA being maybe a little bit too cocky as Soneko has left this lane. The Sentry Ward is gonna spot him out.
It'd be too late. He's already slowed down. He's got the phase boots. Might be able to stay ahead of Mind Control. Gets the Sprout, but the call is there. They finish him off. Liquid evening out the score, but Dendy here with some vengeance. Has the double damage
He
rune.
does not want to blink forward into this. Mind Control.
He's got a blink. Kuro actually takes a large amount of damage. Has an Invis ready to go. Dendy
He's gonna go for a Scream again. He's gonna get it.
He's gonna go for it. Dendy reads it perfectly against Kuro.
And that's a huge kill. That was a decently leveled bounty hunter who was almost level 5. At the same time, though, no reason for DRA to have to die in that top lane.
Archdale. Taking a look at him, you know he's going to make a big movement rather soon here, as he's deep inside the Radiant jungle. Going to put this Hellbear Smasher to good use, but is it going to be mid, or is he going to invade the Radiant jungle further? Looks like he's looking towards mid. Kuro making the TP in, though, refreshes the bottle of Fada, and they'll look for the 6-minute rune as well. So this.
Oh, that was an aggressive blink from Dendy, and they're going to find a haste rune too.
No, this goes from bad to worse. Dendy! That blink forward thought the 6-minute rune would be all his, but it gets punished immediately by a turn of fates. The haste rune picked up by Fada. He'll now rotate to mid. Put some pressure on Soneko. Is Soneko too far out? He should just be able to purge this one off. But the haste rune isn't that much of a threat.
Pretty massive of Dendy to throw away that lead that was built up for him, as Now this Axe is catching up in net worth. Good news for Na'Vi though is that this bottom lane has still gone relatively unopposed for General, who picks up a very early level 6, hasn't had to resort to jungling like Mind Control did in the beginning of the laning phase.
Art style retreats in the jungle, keeps the fade, sticks around that middle lane, finds his opening, rotating behind Fada. Picks up the kill with the help of Dendy's TPN. Now the smoke up immediately. Na'Vi all out aggression here. They're going to try and push the speed game, catch Liquid off guard by rotating up to the top lane.
Yeah, Mind Control might not see this coming. Just saw Na'Vi in this mid lane, and Kuro might actually spot this out.
Radiant's
This would be the
middle
best
tower
possible
is under
scenario for
attack.
Liquid. They might not get either of them as they do have the
Radiant's
dust available. They're going to
top
TP behind them.
And got him. They managed to get the dust up. The Sprout surrounds him, and Snake with the extra nukes. He is a level 5 Oracle at Purifying Flames. It's quite a bit for some of these squishier supports. As you said earlier, the Bounty Hunter being in the levels is actually kind of turning against Liquid because Kuro's been picked off so many times. It just means extra levels for Na'Vi now.
In terms of experience, they're doing just fine. Both their supports doing okay as Artstyle, who's been so active around the map. Already almost level 5. Derex, he's going to run into Artstyle here. Doesn't have mana available, and it looks like they want to try to make a move.
He should be able to surround him without a problem. General does have the Chronosphere. Oh, he found it! What a perfect Chronosphere, hitting 3. They're going to go for the kill on Jerex. Will be able to claim that one, and Artstyle still gets away. What an initiation from General. And now Kuro may still be picked off. Goes
Got the Sonic Wave.
Screen. Sonic Wave goes out. Dendy, he actually managed to pick up the scream. He has an arcane room. He has another Scream of Pain. Makes the guess. This time around, he will not be able to find Kuro, but it looks like Kuro's still dead. It's the Shadow Strike last tick. Wait, 5 HP.
Kuro was really... He had a 12-charge wand
He's
that he
like,
just
"Nah,
did not want to use.
I'm good.
I can't believe that he even went for that. He's playing with fire right there. Spada picks some farm in the meanwhile. Kaneko makes his move forward, but without the Sonic Wave available from Dendy, this is an empty threat.
First exorcism from Fada. Not really doing too much there, so we're going to go back and see that Chronosphere from General. I thought for sure they were just going to surround Artstyle, but he managed to get a small gap there to get himself away from Liquid, and then the Chronosphere is angled perfectly, hitting those 3 heroes and giving Artstyle free escape.
The biggest thing is that the Bounty Hunter was way too far out. Did have the Shuriken toss available to him, but just didn't have the range. That made it just enough for the Enchantress to get out. General with a very good Chronosphere, especially in a 1v3 lane. You're going to be happy with that. Mind Control, though, picking up a lot of farm in this top lane.
Top tower is under
Na'Vi, they're
attack.
afraid to send anybody up here. Is Kuro now going to get spotted by that scan?
To me, Ichiro will just play it safe, sticking near that tier 1 tower, knowing that the Bounty Hunter is here. They could actually gotten the pick off for Mind Control. If they could have successfully ganked the Furion, that would have sped up that Blink Dagger timing. He's so close to it, sitting at 1750, but that is unlikely to be the case here.
Still a very decent lead right now for Na'Vi in kills. 2-5, and they built up a 1k gold lead. In XP, not too much to go off of at 10 minutes into the game, but they have picked greedy Tricore, and now they're going to make their move bottom. Mind Control going to walk past this ward. And
Right over the 10-minute rune. Fada, he's going to try and contest Dendy, make sure he actually has the double silence. Now the Spirit Siphon on Sinango purges himself off. That's not going to stop it. They get the disruption and will catch up to him. Aiming that kill. For the rotations out from Liquid, they really wanted to ensure this
Radiant's
10-minute rune went the way of
bottom
Fada. I
tower is
think they
under
spotted that Na'Vi would try and get greedy and go for that. Only get the kill on the
Radiant's
support.
bottom
Meanwhile,
tower is
Na'Vi do
fallen.
claim the tier 1 tower at the bottom lane. So Na'Vi still potentially getting the better of these trades.
yeah, unfortunately for Na'Vi, there was no track on that kill, so Kuro didn't even pick up any extra farm for himself. Vanguard completed on Mind Control, and it does look like DRL. He's saving up a lot of money. Decided to go for old school Shadowblade.
2,500 gold.
Oh no, he's going to go for the Maelstrom. And that's going to be a lot of damage on him.
Combined with this Faceless Void. Goes for the early Vlads. actually got a pretty heavy amount of physical damage for this lineup. Kuro is going to pop a smoke here on both. Seneko holding onto the dust, and it might be too late. They spot out Kuro. Kuro's going to be caught now by Tendi. They know it too. He just gets out the track, tries to lay out some damage with the shuriken. His life is claimed. He runs into the smoke though. That was aimed towards ganking up mind control. Saving his life may actually be worth the death of Kuro there.
Yeah, you're okay when one of your supports just runs into something like that, especially if you don't lose a core here. As art style dipping a little bit low, but Liquid.
Heal up, starts turning around, having faith in this nature's attempt.
Gotta be careful. There is a chrono available for General.
Got it too. With the art style in the back line, they should easily be able to get the kill on Fada until Matamba Man slows things down with a Song of Siren. Dendi, he has another bling up in 5 seconds. Don't think they're going to be able to
Matamba Man is actually quite low for this.
They're going to try and chase down Matamba Man, but here comes Mind Control. He's got the Vanguard too. They turn around onto Fada. He still has the Exorcism, another Spirit Siphon as well. General not getting lucky with the back until that said, he gets called up. Oh no! He ends up going down the call out. Dendi in the back line. He takes out two. Matamba Man just a sliver of HP. Running away from Seneko, but Seneko really good. Seneko got it! Dives into the tier 2, successfully killing the core. He trades his way, his own life, but even with the track kill, it may be worth it for Na'Vi.
Barely finds that angle. Is because of the track, it does go in favor of Liquid, but still Na'Vi not exactly how they wanted that to go, especially with Didiaron not able to do enough damage to support the other two cores, but Dendi did make it worth his while, going for that aggressive blink in. But now this axe has picked up so much farm and levels.
I was just about to say, Mind Control, like, he's the big beneficiary of all this. He was in a fight that had track kills going down. You could see the way that they put Fada in the front lines with that Spirit Siphon. Really thought he was going to be able to live until he gets bashed up right there. The call was beautiful, but then Dendi, he just lays waste, and this is why you have that Queen of Pain for that quick burst damage. Eliminates 2 heroes almost instantly.
Oh, Matamba Man just almost made it around that corner. Maybe if he ate his tree line up, but able to nab the kill is Na'Vi. Still leading in kills. The gold is still going in their favor as well. But at the same time, threat of a Radiance Naga Siren is always going to loom over their heads, and they want to continue to try to push the pace.
Yeah, we haven't actually talked about that too much. 2,200 gold in the bank from Matamba Man. Bit of a loss after that team fight where he got picked by Seneko. But he will still have a lot of space, presumably, when Mind Control has his Blink Dagger and Vanguard nice and early.
We're going to walk by the Sentry Ward as General. Ready for it.
So they know the wards placed behind the Tier 1, Tier 2 now.
And they're going to run into this. Seneko, he's got the dust.
Got smoked up heroes though. They actually have Ditcheron keeping into them. The Exorcism goes out. It's all about Fada right now. Will he be able to survive through any burst damage incoming? That silence stops any attempt by Na'Vi. No spells whatsoever from General or Dendi. And Fada gets the free Exorcism kill onto the Furion and will now use the rest of that Exorcism timing to go for the Tier 1 at top lane.
Yeah, and this is a pretty natural transition for them as Liquid. They got lucky there as people were trying to set up for it, and fortunately DRR jumped the gun a little bit too early, immediately TP's in, 2 heroes waiting for him.
Top tower is under attack.
Fortune smiles on Liquid with that smoke. Run straight into the TP of the Furion. They won't be able to take the Tier 1 at the top lane, though the Exodus is not lasting quite long enough. Now, Mind Control did just run into Art Style. Art Style, showing that the Axe doesn't have too much backup.
Throwing those reading rainbows at him as Mind Control's going to back up, continue to farm his Blink Dagger. This is a very farmed Axe right now. Top in net worth. All heroes in the game so far.
He may have the farm, but let's see how effective he is with it. These next few minutes are crucial for Liquid. Mind Control's got to get some successful initiations with that Blink Dagger, create the space, or even some successful team fights for Matamba Man to work around, whether it's farming creeps or heroes. Speed up that Radiance a little bit faster. He's got 3,300 gold. If that fight goes wrong, however, that Radiance starts getting delayed, Na'Vi may find an opening to be able to take Roshan, and the tempo will clearly go Na'Vi's. They're actually going to go for Roshan now here, actually. They're going to try and sneak it in nice and early.
So it's very good timing for them.
Liquid are going to be caught totally off guard by this, unless Matamba Man can spot it out with one of these illusions.
Still, I don't know if Liquid want to take this fight. The Exorcism available. They do have the Blink Dagger available on their Axe, but with no farm on Matamba Man, this might actually just be a free Roshan.
They're just getting They spotted out with the illusion. Doesn't matter.
Dire's
Mind
top
control
tower
Blink
is
Score
under
takes the next
attack.
creep wave out, and they're going to claim the tier 1 tower in exchange. And top lane, Vada almost brings down the tier 1 tower there, but they're now going to have a TP in from General.
Instantly going to smoke in. They want to try to push this
Dire's
pace
middle
forward.
tower
As
is
Liquid, if
under
they can get a free
attack.
kill here, be
the
quite
ward.
good for them.
They're going to break their smoke, actually, to be able to take out that ward. That's will giving
Dire's
warning
top
signs
tower is
Na'Vi
under
to
attack.
abandon this tier 1 tower
Dire's
top lane. So
structures are
2
fortified.
tier 1s in exchange for Roshan. Blitz, you favoring that trade-off for Liquid?
It's what you can get out of
Dire's
this
top
Aegis.
tower has
And
fallen.
Liquid, if they overstay their welcome up at top, might just be worth it for Na'Vi, especially if they can find one of these core heroes. They don't want to keep running into Kuroki. They really want to grab this Axe or this Naga Siren, but unfortunately
Dire's
Now the
top
dust
They're not
comes
even gonna
down.
find
her.
Kuro, oh no, he was outside of the range of the smoke, or the dust rather.
they are dropping everything on the ground. These Na'Vi heroes 5 up here.
I mean, we just said
Oh, this courier up at top 2.
Oh no!
Kuro, there's no way
Dire's
you're that
courier
greedy!
has been
Sneaky
killed.
little bugger, he gets it. Not only does he break the smoke, doesn't die from it, but he actually gets the courier pick off. That couldn't have gone worse for Na'Vi.
Thing is, Kuroki right now is playing this game where he doesn't really care about dying. He's just creating vision, creating chaos around the map. Na'Vi had to respawn 5 heroes up there. He breaks the smoke. A dust is popped on top of that. He grabs the courier. That was best case scenario for them. It adds a little bit of pocket change to Matama Man, who is rapidly closing in now on that Radiance. At one point, he was 5th in net worth on his team. Now he leads the entire game.
And that Radiance is only going to speed things along further, so time is ticking, Na'Vi. You've got this Furion, Queen of Pain, and Faceless Void trio. We're looking to be able to push the pace of this game and establish dominance early. It didn't quite yet happen.
Yeah.
See if they can do it now at the 18-minute mark. Mind Control's going to come forward, has his Blink Dagger ready to go, doesn't blink forward. That's a good thing too, Na'Vi. Lying
Dire's
in
bottom
wait,
tower
they've
is
got
under
Dendi
attack.
backed up.
Oh, now that the Radiance is
Dire's
completed,
structures
Matama Man is
are
going to make these
fortified.
pushes even slower. And Na'Vi, they're still going to hit a really sick timing. They've got a Blink Dagger now on General available in 50 gold.
Radiant's top
Tag's almost
tower
completed
is
on
under
their Queen of
attack.
Pain and going to jump forward, but Vada's just going to go for the TP.
Does manage to get himself away. A little bit scared that Centaur Conqueror was going to throw out a stun.
I think Dendi was trying to grab the creeps over and force it so that 4 targets were on top, and Liquid are just running Na'Vi ragged. They didn't even take the tier 2 or the tier 1 tower up at top. And Na'Vi, we talked about how they had to continue to push the pace, especially with this Enchantress pick. Since the early game is concluded, they just haven't been able to do so.
Dire's bottom tower
hard
is under
style.
attack.
Repeatedly grabbing some Naga Siren illusions, but he's got to be careful here at the top lane. The track deal from Kuro just gets more information and backs himself away. Liquid not trying to make too much use of this Blink Dagger. As you were said before, they're just kind of like running around the map, staying one step ahead of Na'Vi if possible, and
but
just
top-
buying more and more time.
if
Attempted
they can-
initiation.
If they can just force Na'Vi around the map repeatedly and force them to react to their moves and they just waste time, I think Liquid are going to be in a very good position going into the mid-late game. And Na'Vi, they're just getting frustrated across the board. They have this Aghanims completed on Dendi, no BKB or defensive items for him. He's going to all-in rely on this Oracle. This Nature's Prophet is not the damage dealer that you need. Liquid,
Mind Control threatening Na'Vi back just purely with this presence. Vanguard and Blink ready to go.
that is not the target that you want to initiate on if you're Na'Vi.
Dire's
1800
bottom
HP
tower
on
is
him.
under attack.
Almost got the Blade Mail completed, 11 wand charges. Again, gotta go for this top tower push, and
Radiant's
I don't
top
think this is a
tower
tower
is
push
under
that they can
attack.
afford to give up on. Because if you
Dire's
look at bottom,
tower is under
Liquid are
attack.
just sailing across the
Radiant
map, they're dodging all the
structures are
fights.
fortified.
Yes, Na'Vi are gonna commit to this top tower.
Vada with his exorcism will be able to take the tower at the bottom lane,
Dire's
and
bottom
as a
tower
result,
is under attack.
Mind Control is choosing not to put
Radiant's
himself
top
in a
tower is
position
under
where he can
attack.
contest the top tower. He accepts
Radiant's
the
top
trade-off,
tower has
and
fallen.
this just means
Dire's
more
bottom
farm
tower
both
is under
teams.
attack.
See if that's to the favor of Liquid as time goes on. Vada is about to complete a BKB. That's a big team fight item alongside the Radiance. Liquid may be able to pressure some towers of their own quite soon. The full 5 men, we'll have to see what they choose though. A lot more damage coming out of Na'Vi, more farming and damage items. The Maelstrom onto General. Na'Vi, they can't seem to find any openings, right? It just, there seems to be no heroes really sticking out from Liquid that are going to get caught by Na'Vi so far. You're Na'Vi, how do you force that error then?
I'm not sure because they're in the position right now where they wanted to use that Aegis, Navi ran them around, and Liquid are only really showing support heroes on the map. Whenever Navi shows 2 heroes on the map, then that's when Liquid sends one of their cores to push out. Now that Navi have lost the Aegis, I think they're going to be a little bit reluctant to push, but during all this time, the Naga Siren is just simply going to outfarm all your heroes.
Is there a possibility that Na'Vi, because they weren't able to get the kind of fights and takeoffs that they wanted to around the 15-minute mark, that they're able to extend this game to their favor? They've got 2 Maelstroms, they've got the Iconims on the Queen of Pain, they've got some pretty good farming items on their cores. Is it possible for them to actually beat out this Naga Siren, who presumably will farm up net worth much quicker?
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's what they're going for right now, committing this Maelstrom to General instead of going for that standard Blink Dagger. I think they've accepted the fact that this game isn't going to go in their pace anymore, and they're trying to slow things down, allow their cores to get farmed up as Kuro going to spot another hero here.
Not again, but still, the
control.
rest of these, okay, they're going to run into mind control. That's not the hero you wanted to run into, especially with that blade mail. They may still be able to kite him around and control. Look at the sprout out. Mind control pops the call for the extra armor. Pain of Pain, threatening that ultimate, but now Matubba Man gets healed. Can they actually set this one up? No, they're just going to TP out.
Radiant's middle
It
tower
already
is
used
under
the silence
attack.
out from Fada.
Matuma Man, though, might actually get picked for this.
He tries to actually dodge out that Shadow Strike. Will be able to get off the debuff, speeding up his progress back to the tier 2.
Might just lead to a natural push, though, from Na'Vi. Well, this Naga Siren.
Still have a rather large creep wave up here, their tier 2, so they're going to need the Furion to go back and push that one out. And all the meanwhile, they're going to have Naga Siren illusions hampering their progress.
And this is going to be so frustrating for Na'Vi. They desperately wanted to take that top fight. It looked like it was going to be a gift to them as Mind Control was caught out by that Sprout, unable to do anything.
So at a certain point, right, we see Na'Vi, they're picking up these farming items. General, okay, there's the Chronosphere. Jerax, is no way he's getting out.
At this point, General's saying to himself, any hero at this point.
Yeah, when was the last time we saw a Chronosphere? You know, it was just, might as well use it, might as well put it on cooldown because Liquid's dodging us so hard.
I think for Na'Vi, though, they're still okay, like you talked about. There is a point in the game where I feel like things can swing back to them, right? Because they have almost this 4-core lineup as art style is very farmed. So you've got a Dragon Lance and an Aghanim Scepter. Can be very useful against these BKB heroes. He can almost always just keep turning those Naga Siren illusions to his favor. So there might actually be a point where Na'Vi comes all the way back around, where the 4-core kind of works out for them.
In which case, we then have to talk about Liquid. When do they are obviously the ones who are going to be looking to control the mid game. That's going to be their big peak when the Naga Siren has, you know, 4 items. What sort of situations are we looking at? When does Liquid actually start trying to pressure tier 2s and thinking about ending the game?
I think Na'Vi, at some point, they're waiting for Na'Vi to get frustrated, maybe if they try to take another objective. Because I think Liquid is right now just operating under the assumption that Na'Vi is trying to force something.
Dire's
There's going to be a
middle
point where
tower is under
Na'Vi gets a little bit too hasty. They don't plan out their fight like they have been. Now, it looks like Liquid, they just want to take this fight. Matuma Man gonna heal up. He's got the boots of travel though to meet the rest of his team. And I think Liquid right now are worried about the possibility of a Roshan. If further confirmed, Matuma Man gonna TP top though. This might just be a 5-on-5 fight. It's not me. They're here in full force.
This could get real nasty real quickly. They do have General on the side with a fresh Blink Dagger. They've already managed to pick off Kuro.
They can get more here, especially a core. This would be huge for them.
Blink forward. You get a bash. Oh, first hit bash for General. Just in time, Fada goes out the Spirit Siphon, but here comes that burst damage. He doesn't have the opportunity to get away from that one. Jarek going to TP out. Blink forward. Oh, the tear missing. General thought he was going to get a 3rd hero from Liquid. Not the case here. A big team fight ultimate wasted. They still have 40 seconds where the death cost is dead, but they can't actually go for Roshan just yet. It's not even up.
That I don't even know what that bash was. That's going to be something that tilts you if you're Fada. Just because his TP, there was not going to be a second hit available, but instead, the very first hit.
7 to 12. 25 minutes in, 1,000 gold lead for Liquid. Bit of an experience lead for Na'Vi though. Quite the even matchup so far.
Yeah, that's generally going to happen when you have a Naga Siren on your team, even though she's going to get a lot of net worth. She's going to be pushing in lanes, not really giving her team or herself even experience.
Still though, it seems like the supports, perhaps just because the track gold, they've managed to get some decent progression in items. Jerix, for example, does have that ether lens. Kuro, not so much though. Still doesn't have the mech, which is obviously going to be essential to help keep Fada alive. He's already got the Yule Scepter BKB, but he needs every little bit of help he can get.
Maybe Dendi blinks for this. He's thinking about it. And they're setting up a trap for this. Instead, not going to go to anyone as Kuro just walks by it.
Very late Roshan. It is just about to spawn. Both teams know it too, which is why Liquid are going to go for a 4-man smoke here. See if they can actually get the initiation first on Na'Vi, get the numbers advantage, and guarantee an Aegis for themselves.
Yeah, but I think Na'Vi are under some assumption that Liquid could just be backing up this man Naga Siren, and now they're pinging like crazy. Looks like they do want to get into a fight.
Radiant's middle
General
tower
has the
is under
Chronosphere in
attack.
2 seconds. This is going to be dangerous.
Ward placed out by Seneko.
It's going to be a huge fight. They're going to make the jump, but General gets the blink.
Quick reactions there from General. Now he has the opportunity to respond. He's going to time walk forward. Double Chronosphere. The rest of the team blinking forward. Did he? No! Couldn't get off a Sonic Wave in time, but Tumbaman puts everything to a halt with the Song of Siren. Now mind control. He's going to go straight for Seneko. Wants to be able to take out that support first, but he gets off the ultimate. Dendi, Silence, Dumpy can be activated by Fada. The Exorcism will manage to finish off with the Cooling Blade. Kuro will be taken out by Artstyle, looks like, but Artstyle surrounded by a sea of Liquid heroes. And on the right-hand side, it looks like, oh, the ultimate comes out from Dendi. He managed to at least pick up a support there, but Mind Control still managed to claim a counter kill, and Liquid win the fight with an Exorcism still out on top of the Tier 2 tower.
And they win it handily because they forced Dendi to go for the buyback. He is so far away now from this BKB, and they need it for him. He needs to be able to get in there, get all of his abilities off, but instead, without that BKB available, Fada Silence just ripped through him.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Dangerous. General's initiation, they've really got to be on point here, because if you look at Liquid's lineup, they've got both the Shadow Demon as well as the Naga Siren. Both are excellent counters to the Chronosphere setup. As we saw with that Song of Siren halting every bit of progress there from Na'Vi.
And for Na'Vi, if that fight went well, they could have immediately just transitioned that into some momentum, grab the Roshan for themselves, start to knock down some of these Tier 2 towers, but instead, Liquid just reset the pace of the game. The worst possible thing again is Dendi's item timings have just completely fallen off as he is desperate, trying to get some measure of farm as Artstyle in this mid lane.
Track on him. Shuriken will bounce over as well.
Man's running forward.
Hope to be able to get off the snare. Now Mind Control actually forced that through. And we get the call on 2. Calling Blade 1. Couldn't get the other for the move.
They know that Rod up there.
They spot him out 1 second there with a Shadow Poison, but Natus able to be able to stop him. And now General.
Gotta be careful. Not afford to get picked off here.
He's going to be silenced up almost immediately. Won't be able to get a blink or a time walk out. Mind Control with a double kill, and another Tier 2 tower going to be forfeited by Na'Vi.
And Navi's just getting sloppy right now. Pressure's starting to mount. Now it's clutch time for them, as they cannot afford to lose another fight, as Liquid is just taking too much real estate around the map. Dendi reluctant to fight though without that BKB or the buyback available, and this is going to lead to Liquid just continuing to push in. Na'Vi, now it comes back, but where's the fight for them?
See with that Ags. Oh no,
He got way too far forward.
He's going to be ensnared down the silence as well. There's no buyback available. Short step counter. Mind Control comes forward, gets the Culling Blade once again, and Ditchira left with nothing but right clicks. Cannot keep Liquid off of this Tier 3 tower. With 15 more seconds still. Till General is up with the Chronosphere.
Na'Vi cannot afford to lose any more individual heroes, especially not Force. And here comes Artstyle.
Artstyle thought he was going to be able to get it a bit more damage on Ivana, but he said they couldn't afford another pickoff, and it just happened. Liquid starts streaming forward, chasing Ditchira back. The Exorcism beating onto the melee racks. It's just before the 30-minute marker, but now the Chronosphere comes in with the buyback. They need to be able to pop on it. They can't quite do it. The Exorcism about to fade. He's going to TP out.
Everybody from Liquid gonna make the clean escape here. Na'Vi desperate to try to pursue. They use buybacks for this, but instead they're gonna be able to save the racks, but at the cost of so many different heroes. And Na'Vi,
they have to get Roshan now. They bought back earlier on Dendi. They just bought back on Artstyle. They almost lost their melee racks. Didn't get any hero kills on Liquid. They have to get something.
this is an
out of
all-in
this
attempt
heavy
by them.
gold.
They can't afford to die or lose this Aegis themselves, as Liquid are gonna start marching forward. There is no Naga Siren available for Liquid, so this might be a decent fight for Na'Vi, and this might be the best one they find, as they do have that chrono, and it's going to be all about the angles.
They have to full commit right now because there's 10 more seconds until the Song of Siren is back up.
No chrono here, though.
With the illusion though, and now the initiation. Mind control. Managing to get the call out on Artstyle. They surround him. Good ult from Denny from the side, but it's just not quite enough. It's not putting a big enough dent in these cores, as Liquid are just pushing through on the right-hand side. Na'Vi getting quickly surrounded. Ditcherod also going to go down, and Na'Vi splinter apart, leaving Roshan now in the hands of Liquid.
And every single time that Na'Vi is getting kills in this engagement, it's almost always on these two supports. They just haven't been able to nab a core
Mind
kill.
Control's gunning for it, man. He sees it with the track. He's going to be able to get the call. He still has the follow-up as well, setting up Fada now for the silence. Will he get on the double? General not going to be able to stop this. They can actually turn on the General. He still has the track on him. Couple more seconds. The Radiance putting a stop to that Blink Dagger, but he does get the time lock now.
And Na'Vi, where's your hold? There's no Chronosphere available for General, no heroes available either. This is going to be a two-pronged attack from Liquid. Na'Vi might just be seeing the last game of TI here.
Mid laner Brax is going to be demolished by Liquid, picking up the pace of this game, striking hard in the mid game. They don't seem to show any signs of letting go. In fact, they're going to go for a second lane of Brax.
They got the Exorcism in 4 seconds. Na'Vi, this is probably going to be your last chance to hold, and they're going to need a miracle for this one.
If they can hold, though, Roshan is still available to them. The Octarine on the Naga Siren, though, this is getting nastier by the second. Na'Vi, just no progression in items after those buybacks.
Especially on this Dendi Queen of Pain. We talked about it earlier. After that buyback at bottom, that disastrous fight, he is still trying to grab his BKB. Just unable to do so off of the back of so many unsuccessful team fights.
Particularly with this Aghanim still, to really expect a lot more farm out of this Queen of Pain, being able to spam out that ultimate, but not the case here.
Probably get one more look at a team fight.
Come on, sprites!
Which case, they need to be the ones determining the tempo. General managed to get the time walk away from Mike. Might be the opening they need. Bouncing a lot of damage back. Hardstyle in the middle of this, and Echo is going to be the first one down, though. Fada managed to get the silence on him. Fuel Scepter on a General, stalling out the Chronosphere as best possible. Now Disruption as well. Fada, BKB, now the Chronosphere comes in. They will eliminate Fada, but Mind Control gets the Culling Blade chop. A Tumble Man right in the middle of Na'Vi's base, looking for more. Mind Control finds it. Will be able to provide the assist with the Blade Mail. Another dunk. Liquid take out 3 of Na'Vi and back out of Na'Vi's base.
And it looks like they want to transition this into a bottom tower push as Fada commits the buyback. They smell blood. They know that Na'Vi just simply do not have the items to contest them. They're going to start flooding into this bottom tower, and they want a second lane of racks.
They can end it all here. 40 seconds left on Dendi, but this is simultaneously an opening. If somehow Na'Vi gets a miracle hold against Liquid and can kill Fada a secondary time, but as I say that, they could not afford to hero like this on again, one after another. Mind Control finding the pickoffs is beyond godlike right now. And Na'Vi have no hope in being able to save this second lane of Rax. 15 more seconds until Dendi's up. Another 45 until Ditcherod's Furion's alive.
I think Na'Vi, they have to learn their lessons. Give up this set of racks, reset the fight, and at least try to fight around that top lane of racks instead of just suiciding hero after hero. It looks like they're going to do just that. And without 5 available, I don't think Na'Vi want to take this. And Liquid are going to leave pretty satisfied with 2 sets of racks now taken at just 30 minutes.
Na'Vi at this point living on one hell of a prayer. It's going to have to come down into the defense at top lane. Liquid trying to end this, getting mega creeps, taking out the last lane of Rax, or it's going to come down to the Roshan fight. See which one Liquid choose, as it does seem to be to them choose the battlefield.
It looked like there were going to be salvageable moments for Na'Vi, but unfortunately, every time they lost one hero, they were caught a little bit out of position. Mind Control instantly pounced every single time. He's got 3 different ways to set up a fight. Na'Vi have to respect this axe a lot more than they have in these fights.
Where are you
Look
going?
at Kuro. Once upon a time, we were talking about how he didn't have the mech quite yet for Fada, but now he's got a Dagon 3.
This is going to be potentially the last fight for Na'Vi. They can't afford to lose this one, and this is going to be the perfect target for them to get.
From behind, they're going to try and pop a Tumble Man as fast as possible. The disruption! Oh no, the save! But Tumble Man is back out with half HP. Still has the Song of Siren. Aren't they going to be able to get this kill there?
Oh, they're just going to reset this fight.
Otto with the BKB exits him out. Mataba Man will give himself some space. And Na'Vi gonna have to dig themselves out of a hole here. Vintage Rod trying to get some distance with the Hurricane's peg. Not gonna be the case. Daneko is gonna be able to survive for only a second extra. General, the only one to escape, but he too will fall as Na'Vi call it. The end of the game and the end of their run here at TI comes down as you can see how excited Liquid are.
Now they get to the best of threes where things aren't so random, but for Na'Vi, this is where it's going to all end. And a disappointing finish for them as they go home. They're losing just one game to Liquid and
Truly a team that was ramping up going into the international. People were talking about it, the Na'Vi magic, it was coming back, but as they go into the international, they falter and will be one of our first teams out.
the hope stay alive.